Hey guys, it's me, and yes, we're doing another Chit Chat Get Ready With Me video. It's just that a lot of stuff has happened this month. I just want to talk about those things with you guys because I know I've been pretty absent from YouTube because of all that stuff and everything, so I want to fill you guys in on what's been going on a little bit. And also talk to you guys about other things that are going to be going on with this channel, like future videos, things like that, so... yeah, and you know shit's about to get real because I have almost a full page full of things that I want to touch on in this video. Also, by the way, we're in like the same spot that I always film. It's just that we're in a different kind of positioning. I am close up to my desk. Trying this out to see if doing makeup videos and like this positioning and setting and everything is going to work out better for these videos and everything. With the Chit Chat Get Ready With Me's that I've done previously, my tripod has always been in front of my desk. And so I'm always having to like reach around the camera to get to things on my desk. So I noticed like the other day I tested this angle out and I was just like, oh, I could film in this angle. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. So I have my desk in front of me. So now we're just going to have everything out in front of me. But first I actually got to get everything out. So yeah, but yeah, so let's go ahead and hop on into this. But before we do that, if you're new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and while you're down there, give this video a like because that'll help me out a lot. And if you want to follow me across any of my social media links, they're linked down below. November has been a month for the ages. I cannot wait for this month to be over with. It has been a horrible month. We're just gonna like keep it real here. Like this month has just been horrible, and I am going to talk about as much as I can about what has been going on this month and everything. I don't know if I'll go super in deep as to what has been going on this month or not. I don't know, just simply because there are some things that I am okay with talking about, and then some things that I am not okay with talking about. I talked about in my previous Chit Chat Get Ready With Me that I had a job interview, but I wasn't entirely sure how things went. Well, I got an email from them telling me that I was invited to orientation. So, yeah, bitch, got the job. And I was very happy about it, but then I was also kind of nervous because, I mean, like, I haven't had a job in, like, nearly 4 months, and I was going to be working in a retail position and working during the holiday season and whatnot, and, like, a different type of retail environment. Get my orientation day scheduled, and I'm pretty excited, but like I said, I'm also quite nervous about it. But I powered through it and everything, and I get more and more excited as the date approaches because my orientation date was going to be the following week from when I got that email. So it was going to be a hot minute before I went in for orientation. But then the day before my orientation day, my dad had to have a minor medical procedure done. Nothing to worry about. Everything's okay. He tells me the news about things and everything, and that he's gonna have to go through advanced treatment with it. I just won't go into too much detail, but my dad has been dealing with skin cancer for the past several years, and it hasn't been all that serious. But that day when he went in for a procedure and everything to have a spot checked out and possibly removed, the spot has been like giving him issues for years. And when he went in for this procedure and everything, they wound up learning that it was advanced staged basal cell carcinoma, which is a very common, very easy to treat form of skin cancer. But it had become advanced stage, so they're having to change their tactics on how they're going to treat it. At first, it didn't really bother me all that much because, I mean, like, it's just something very simple. It's not too deep and everything, so it's nothing really you need to worry about. But when you have anxiety, your brain makes it a big deal. And so I wound up getting like flashbacks to my mom and what she went through. Because for those of you who don't know, I lost my mom almost 15 years ago. She had melanoma, which is a rare and aggressive form of skin cancer. And it was right around this time, like 15 years ago, when her melanoma really started to flare up and go crazy. And so for some reason, I'm not entirely sure why, but my brain decided to like freak out and to like focus in on that and start coming up with scenarios that like since it's advanced stage, things can go wrong and everything, and things can get crazy. And I don't want to necessarily say I started panicking, but I was definitely in like a headspace of like worry. And I was already stressed out because I mean like the next day I had like orientation, so I'm already anxious because of that, because I don't know what's gonna be going on with this job and whatnot. And so naturally I was just quite anxious already to begin with, and then I get this news and things just kind of like, I don't want to necessarily say they started spiraling, but things started to like get a little weird. You guys are just gonna have to ignore Roxy because I just don't want to have to deal with her. Then my orientation day comes up, which was Thursday, November 7th. My orientation was at 10 a.m., which I was totally fine with and everything. It just meant that I would have to get up early, which I don't generally like to do, but I mean, hey, I'm getting a new job. I'm happy about it, and I'll deal with it. When I woke up that morning, I noticed that I was a bit congested, but I didn't think too much of it because I do get congested a lot during this time of year because of like the transitioning between seasons and like all the constant temperature fluctuations that we get here in Atlanta during this time of year. So I'm not really thinking much of it, and so I'm not too worried about anything. I just need to focus on what is going to be happening today, which is orientation. And then too, like a lot of times as well, like I'll get like those symptoms and they'll flare up, and then after like a few hours the symptoms tend to just fade away, which is what wound up happening. So again, didn't think nothing much of it, didn't worry about it too much. And so I go to orientation and things went pretty well. I did notice a few things that didn't really quite sit with me all that well, but I didn't focus on them too much, just simply because like it wasn't really that big of a deal to me at the moment. And I found out what position I was going to be doing, because I think I mentioned in my previous To Check It Ready With Me, I didn't know what position they were going to put me on. I found out what position they were going to put me on, and that was cashier. I was hoping for sales associate, but I mean, hey, I'll take a cashier position. Oh, this green's a lot darker. Oh, look a lot brighter in the pan. But me, I'm just like, let's just focus on getting this day started and finished and everything. Because I mean, like, although, like, cause I mean, like, I was still quite anxious about things and whatnot, so I just wanted to, like, get in, get out, and just, like, have some time to myself, because we wound up learning at orientation that we were going to be on the schedule for another, like, 2 weeks. Our orientation was scheduled for 10 to 2, but it wound up concluding at 12:30, I think, or maybe 12:15. Was a bit odd to me, because you would think that they would try to make use of all the time that they have you there to run things by you and everything, to teach you things and whatnot. But whatever. I didn't think nothing too much of it, so I didn't really dwell on it too much. And then too, like I said, since I was so anxious that day, I really just wanted to like get in, get out, go home. And while we were there getting ready to leave, the woman who was in charge of the orientation asked us when we could come in to start our computer training. And so I told them that I could go in Friday, the next day, and I could go in at noon. And so scheduled me to go in the next day to start my computer training. And I'm looking forward to it, but I'm quite nervous about it, because I started like regretting making that decision when I got home, because I was just like, great, I'm not gonna have enough time to like prepare myself for the training and everything and whatnot. Like, I'm just gonna be so anxious about it, but hey, whatever, it's not that big of a deal, you'll be fine. And so I'm stressed out about that. I'm stressed out about my dad, but I'm just like, I need to go to bed because tomorrow's gonna be a crazy ass day. So let's go ahead and start working on getting some rest, going to bed, and all that fun stuff. So Friday morning, it's almost 5 a.m. My dad comes into my room, wakes me up and asks me to help him out with cleaning up a spot that they had worked on, because he was trying to like take care of things himself that morning, because he didn't want to wake me up super early in the morning to help him clean things up and whatnot. But he was just having a really hard time trying to get a cotton ball out of his ear. And so he woke me up to have me help him out that morning. So I get up, help him out. And keep in mind, I have helped him clean up like spots that he's had removed for years now. So I've seen this shit before. I've seen crazier things than what I saw that morning. But for some reason, my mind went to an extremely dark place and I nearly fainted. And it was horrifying. If you have never fainted before, don't. It's not fun. It's terrifying. I mean, I didn't full-blown faint, but I was very much about to. And it happened so quickly. Like, I think it was like just over like a period of 2 minutes. I went from like being like totally functionable, tired, yes, but functionable, to being inoperable in just like a span of 2 minutes. First I started to feel really nauseous, but I was just like, ooh, I did eat a lot last night, so I'm probably still feeling a bit yucky from that, so whatever, it's no big deal. But then I started to feel a bit dizzy. I'm like, oh boy, this is not good. And then I started sweating a lot and I'm like, I think I'm gonna be sick. And so I tell my dad like, hey, I'm not feeling that great. And he's like, yeah, you don't look that good either. My right hand holding me up on the door frame, and then I have my left hand on my forehead. And I look up and everything started like getting super hazy and white. I nearly lost my balance. My dad walked me back to my room, which is just right across from the hall. I couldn't stand on my own because, I mean, like, I was just so dizzy and, like, could barely even stand, even, like, propped up against, like, the door frame. And we get into my room, but I sleep with my TV on at night because I get anxious at night when it's too quiet. And so I sleep with my TV on so that way I can have some background sound and everything. And I actually have, a little side note, I actually have fallen in love with sleeping to podcasts. Yeah. Before I would just sleep to like classical music, but now I'm sleeping to podcasts and it's so good. I love it. I love it a lot. TV, as all TVs would naturally do, when they're on, they emit light. Even if you have them on the lowest brightness setting like I do, they will always emit some form of light. My room was completely black to me, like dead of night. I don't think I had my lamp on. I think my lamp was off, but at the same time, it's just like I tend to turn my lamp on when I get out of bed at night, so that way I can see into my room a lot better. If I had my lamp on, I didn't see the light coming from it. So I couldn't see anything at all. Like, I had physically blacked out. Mentally, I was still there. And in terms of my eyesight though, I had blacked out. I'm facing like the doorway, and so like there's a light shining into my room because of that. Even that light I could not see in my room. I could see like the silhouette of my dad at that point. And I also could hardly hear him. My hearing had started to go. It was so terrifying. Because it was almost as if I was wearing like massive over-ear headphones that were noise canceling. And although I know he would have wanted to like keep an eye on me and everything, he had to get ready to go to work. Eventually, I guess I fell asleep. I don't know. I really don't know if I actually fell asleep or if I was still awake. But I was able to get at least a little bit of rest. And I get up out of bed a couple of hours later, and I am still like quite wobbly and feeling nauseous. And I was also kind of congested. And I realized that I was full-blown sick. My body was not happy with me at all that morning. And now I have a full-blown head cold. Like, I started losing my voice. Like, things were not good for me that morning. And I'm just like thinking and hoping to myself that I get better by noon and that this is just like a morning time thing. So that way I can like go to work and start my computer training. I didn't get better. I continued to get worse. And my mental health didn't help out either because I was still so freaked out about what had happened that morning that I couldn't really focus on the fact that like I need to like go in and start computer training today. Is all I could really think about and focus on was the fact that I nearly passed out that morning. All this shit is going through my head, and I wound up having to like call my sister and have her call out for me because I couldn't physically talk anymore after like about like almost an hour before I had to go in. I was just like, I cannot talk right now. If I talk, I start coughing. If I cough too much, I get nauseous and on the verge of puking. And so it's just like, I cannot go in and work under these conditions. She's able to get through to them and tell them what's going on, and tell me that I need to call in on Monday to reschedule. And so I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I'll call in on Monday and we'll get things sorted out. So Monday comes around, that was the 11th, and I call in and reschedule to go in to start my computer training the following day, Tuesday. And I was going to go in at 10 a.m. Tuesday arrives and I start my computer training. Everything is going quite smoothly, and I wind up overhearing the lady who was in charge of orientation. I'm guessing she's also in charge of like scheduling people as well. But I overhear her having a conversation with somebody, and that person is talking to her about like her schedule. Telling her that she was scheduled to work hours that she couldn't work. And like the lady who like is in charge of like orientation, one who was like giving me instructions on like what to do with my training and whatnot, like she's telling her that they can't do anything because it's holiday hours. That was a red flag for me because I had like told them what my availability was, and I told them that like I wasn't going to be able to work Thanksgiving Day, and the store is open on Thanksgiving Day, which annoyed me, but I'm just like, whatever, it's retail, it's holidays, some places are open on Thanksgiving Day, whatever. As I'm doing my computer training, she comes in and tells me, now, when you're ready for a break, you need to like put yourself on break, you know. And so like I had been in there for like 3 hours at that point. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I got to a stopping point. I'm like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and take a break. And so I go and take a break and everything, take a 15. And I started thinking to myself, this is a bit strange. Like I had to like put myself on break. And then I remembered when on orientation, she had told us that like if you're working, you have to request your own breaks. Which weirded me out a bit. With working at Walmart, they were very, very anal about making sure that people got their breaks. They were very, very anal about people getting their breaks and taking their 15s and everything. And they would like come out and like check on you, make sure that you got your break and everything, or make sure that you got your meal break and whatnot. So the fact that this place you had to like take care of that shit on your own and request your break and then had to wait for somebody to come relieve you was very strange to me. I finished all the associate training, like the computer training that all associates had to take. And then I got there, I think maybe like 1.5, maybe almost 2 of the assignments that cashiers had to finish. But I realized that it was time for me to go. And so I tell her this, like the lady in charge of like orientations and the training and everything, I tell her this. And this was a big red flag to me. And she's just like, that's fine. It's okay. You don't really need to worry about it. That's a big issue right there. The fact that I didn't finish my training and that it wasn't a big deal is like a big deal. Because at Walmart, they would hound you if you did not finish your computer training. They would be all over your case if you did not finish your training. And like with working at Walmart, they're always updating the CBLs there at Walmart. So you could be there for like 10 years and you'll still have to do CBLs there. So the fact that I didn't finish all my CBLs there at this store and that it wasn't a big deal was like a massive red flag to me. I just carried on and everything scheduled when I could go in for my first day of on-floor training, which was going to be the next morning at 7:45, which I wasn't too thrilled about because I don't like working super early in the morning. I learned that when I was working at Walmart. I just don't perform nearly as good when I have to work early in the morning. I'm just like, whatever, I'll be fine. It's just a training day. It's not going to be like a regular work day or anything like that. So I'll be fine. I go in the next morning and start my on-floor training. I don't know if it's because I got hired on for a seasonal position or what. But training was only about like 2 hours on a register. And then they put me on a register by myself and I had to work the rest of the time that I was there on that register. I'm making sure to like ask like the girl that I trained with who was on like the register across from me like questions when I needed them. But I was still so confused and baffled by all of that. And it's just like I got fed to the wolves so quickly. Because I know with that Walmart, when I was there at Walmart, your on-floor training, you get 5 days. 5 days of working at the register and shadowing somebody before you get your numbers and start working on your own. Here, apparently at this place, you only get but 2 hours. And something that I learned when I was there from one of the cashiers is that it is very like you could very easily wind up having to work past the time that you're scheduled. So for me, giving you an example, I was scheduled to be there for my on-floor training from 7:45 till 1 o'clock. So at 1 o'clock, that would be the time that I would have to clock out. But I learned from one of the cashiers that when things get really busy there, you can very easily wind up having to stay past an hour of when you're supposed to clock out. That right there was a big red flag because with that Walmart, I know I keep comparing things to Walmart, but keep in mind it's the only job I had prior to this job. But with working at Walmart, they made sure that you got off when you were supposed to get off because Walmart doesn't play with overtime. Like, you are not going to get overtime unless you are given overtime. Like, explicitly given overtime. And so 1 o'clock comes around and the girl that I'm training with, she is able to leave. because someone comes in and replaces her and everything. And this is like 15 minutes before it's time for her to go, because that's how it works at this store. Like 15 minutes before your shift is usually when the next person comes in and will take over for you. So that way you can take back your go backs and get things cleaned up and everything at your station, at your register and whatnot. So yeah, so you're given plenty of time to like get up and go. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she tells me like, I know things are quite busy right now. But once things die down, which they should in just a minute, you can go ahead and clean up and leave. She leaves and things get so busy. Like I said, I was supposed to leave at 1. I didn't clock out till almost 1:30. And that annoyed the crap out of me. Like, how does this place not have enough structure to where people can go home when they're supposed to go home? I mean, yeah, Walmart was a hot mess, but they had structure. Finally figured out a good way to use this guy, the Cover FX custom cover drops. Not custom cover drops, custom enhancer drops, right? Yeah, custom enhancer drops. Finally figured out how to use this guy and everything. Use it on top of foundation and blend it out with a brush. But this guy only looks good on my cheekbones. It doesn't look good anywhere else. I could probably do like a light dusting of it, a very light application of it in other areas. But I can't go in as like hard as I usually do here. I leave that day, go home, and I don't have to go back for another week. On the floor training day was the 13th. I wasn't scheduled to go back in until the 21st. Fast forward to the weekend. Probably one of the worst weekends of my life. And I'm not going to be able to physically talk about what happened that weekend because it's still so fresh, because I mean it was just like a little over a week ago as of when I'm filming this. But if you follow me on like Instagram or Twitter, then you know what happened. And if you don't know what happened, I'll put like edit the posts up onto the screen so you guys can see it. None of us were expecting it. It was very sudden. And I mean, he was almost 18 years old, and I mean, life just got up to him. I mean, like he was already showing signs of declining already, and it was just like a matter of time. So makeup is done, and I haven't finished talking about everything that I want to talk about, so we're going to just talk about that stuff real quick. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. It's definitely been weird, but I mean, we're getting through it, so it'll take some time getting used to things and everything. Monday comes around and I'm feeling a bit better, I guess, for a lack of words, and like I have a little bit more energy and everything. And I decided to check my work schedule to see how things are going to be going for work, to see if it's updated, see what's going to be happening the week of Thanksgiving. And they didn't pay attention to my availability whatsoever. I told them that I couldn't work Thanksgiving. They booked me for Thanksgiving. I told them the earliest I can go in was at 10 a.m. and they scheduled me 2 days that week that I had to go in at like early in the morning. Like I had to go in at 7:45, so when the store opened on one day, and then I had to go in at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. Due to the fact that like, yeah, I was only scheduled to work from like 4:30 to 10 on Thanksgiving Day. Knowing how things can go there when it's busy, there's no guarantee I'm going to get off at 10. So I was just like, they're not paying attention to my availability, and they're not going to reschedule me because it's holiday hours. So it's either like I'm going to get fired or I'm going to have to quit. And then there's all these other red flags that I had with this place and everything. And the pay wasn't that great. And then with all the stress that I was going through and everything, and I'm still going through now, like, I was just like, I'm not going to be able to handle this. I'm not going to be able to have this job and deal with all this shit. So I quit. I quit on the spot, and I technically wasn't even hired there for 2 weeks. Yeah. And so, like, I officially quit on the 20th. And so, ever since then, I've actually been doing a lot better. Which is strange. Because, like, I had so much dread, like, being honed in at that job and everything. And I was just dreading having to go in and everything. And, like, dealing with everything that I was going through. And knowing that I don't have to do that actually makes me happy and like made me very happy, and I started to like perk up and started feeling a bit better. And especially after that rough weekend, it was just like feeling genuinely happy was wild to me in that moment. And also, just as soon as like I'm starting to feel better, I think it was like a day or two ago, I've had a on and off crush with this guy and everything, and like it'll creep up and then it'll just dissipate and never really amount to anything, so it's just like nothing that I need to focus on. But now it's starting to escalate and I'm starting to focus on it, and I've talked about this before in the past about how crushes do me. I'm not happy about it. I know like a friend of mine told me that like crushes are important and like feelings are important because they remind you that you're alive, but I just hate having crushes though, because I wind up getting sad about it. So yeah, because the last time I had a really intense crush, like it was right at the end of a massive depressive episode, and I started feeling better, and then I got that crush and then I went straight back down. I'm scared that that's happening to me again. Yeah, I definitely need to talk to him though. I haven't talked to him in a while. Enough with the life update. Let's talk about some other things, such as like new videos and other things that I've been doing. I'll start out with the other things that I've been doing, which is just like a quick update on like gaming. I finished playing Darksiders 2 last night. I was not expecting it to end as abruptly as it did. I mean, I still really enjoyed the game, but it just ended so abruptly and everything. I didn't expect it to like end that quickly, but I really did enjoy it. So now just have to wait till Genesis comes out and I can finish the story and be able to like play Strife's storyline. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And now I'm trying to figure out like what game I want to play next. I have The Last of Us, and I haven't played it before, but I've watched it a few times. And I kind of want to play it, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm emotionally stable enough to be able to handle the emotional turmoil that is that game. So yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for it just yet, so. And I need to watch my spendings right now, so I can't buy any new games right now, so yeah. Part of me wants to play The Witcher 3 again, and to get like the good ending this time. Yeah, because I finished it about 2 months ago, I think is when I finished The Witcher 3, and I got the bad ending, so, and it's still eating at me that I got the bad ending, so I was just like, I want to like go at it again and play the main storyline and get the good ending. So next up, let's talk about videos, upcoming videos, and video ideas that I have. So upcoming videos that are going to be happening, a declutter video is going to be coming up. I filmed that about 2 weeks ago, and so that'll be going up next week. And then I'm going to be fixing up my hair. I'm going to be doing my roots. I'm going to try to make this blonde a bit lighter, because I'm going to be going a different color, and then too, so that way I can even out my blondes and everything, get my blondes to like not the same color but close enough to one another. That way if I want to maintain and keep like blonde hair or go back to just having blonde again sometime in the future, my blonde is all even and not like an ombre of different blondes. But also because I do plan on coloring my hair, I'm going to start that process so that way I can have like nice pretty hair for Thanksgiving. So yeah, that's going to be happening this week. I'm going to be filming all that stuff this week. So but that video isn't going to go out till after the declutter video. So yeah, it'll be about 2 weeks before you guys see that video. Hopefully this hair transformation will work out and not be a failure like the last one that I tried to do. Also, I'm gonna quickly promote my second channel, my music channel. I know you guys probably don't care about music, as every time I've talked about music here on this channel, I think those videos get no views. But I do have a second channel that's dedicated to music. Originally, it was just a dump for my vocal covers. Those still happen, but the main thing that happens on that channel now are music video reactions. So if you guys want to see some music video reactions, definitely go check out that channel. The link is always down in the description box below so you guys can get quick and easy access to it. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy making those videos. I'm actually going to be filming 2 of them after I finish this video. But I'm doing like other music related content on there as well. Besides that, like I will be doing like CD hauls. I plan on doing like a video at the end of the year about my favorite music releases of 2019. So it's just all around music related content. Last thing that I want to talk about with videos are 2 video ideas that I have in mind. Now, one of the ideas that I have, I could probably get 2 videos out of, maybe even 3. I'm not entirely sure about the 3rd one, but I know I can get at least 2. And that is, I want to have like a play on a series that Samantha Ravindal had for a hot minute, and I believe it was called Palette Throwback, I think is what she called that series, in which she would just like play with like an old eyeshadow palette that most people probably have in their makeup collections and just do like tutorials using that palette. That way people can just use like stuff that they already have and not have to feel the pressure and need to like go out and buy what's new. I have 3 palettes that I can use for it. The 3rd one that I'm unsure about is the Ultimate Smoky palette from NYX. I don't know if this could probably work for that series. I don't know. I'll probably use it anyways because I need to play around with that palette more. But the other 2 that I definitely know that I can do with the series is the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. I need to get more use out of this palette. I think I've only have used it twice since I've gotten it, and I got it back in June, so I need to play around with it some more. The other one is the OG Jaclyn Hill palette. I haven't played with this palette in a long time, and I definitely need to play around with it again. I remember when I first got it, I created a whole bunch of looks using it, because, let's see, I created like bright looks and neutral looks. Let's see, how many did I create? I think I created like maybe like 6 or 7 looks using this palette alone. So yeah, I really do love this palette, but I just haven't used it in a very long time. So I'm gonna pick it up again and use it. And so I figured that that would be a great like mini series type of thing to do. And the last like video idea that I have in mind, I proposed this on my Instagram stories, and because I was originally thinking like, should I do this video or should I do a video of me answering your guys's assumptions about me? And everybody was just like, do the assumptions video. And I was like, okay, cool. Send in your assumptions. I only got 2. I can't make a video out of that, okay? So, yeah, that was a flop. But the other video idea that I had in mind is kind of like a drama video in a way. It could be like a drama video, but not exactly a drama video. But essentially what it is like, I'm calling it like opinions is what I'm calling it. You guys would give me like a topic of some sort, and then I will give you guys my opinions on it. So it could be from like what are your thoughts on this palette or this collection, this brand, like this beauty guru or this YouTuber, this band, like all this type of shit and everything. Like, what do you guys want to know? It's kind of like a Q&A video, but at the same time not a Q&A video. So yeah, and she is going to town out there. I'm sorry if it's annoying you, but I just do not want to deal with her right now. Like, if you guys are curious as to like how I feel about like Jeffree Star, Kat Von D, Tarte, like Diana Fahezra and her music, like what have you, like Kill Star, Lip Service, the possibilities are endless as to like the opinions that you would want to hear from me. So let me know if you want that video to happen or not. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to know what you guys think. Bring those opinions down in the comments below and let's do this shit. And besides, I haven't done like an interactive type of video, like a video interacting with you guys this year yet, which I found out like about 2 weeks ago that I've only have posted about 10 videos this year. Yeah. Only 10 videos this year, and none of them have been like a Q&A video or anything like that. And so I haven't done a video in which I've interacted with you guys yet. So let's do this shit. So give me some topics that you want me to discuss my opinions on in the comments below. And on that note, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know there is a lot of information to take in this video, but a lot of shit has just been going down this month, and it's definitely been a month, and I cannot wait for it to be over, just like I cannot wait for 2019 to be over with. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until I see you guys in my next video, whenever the hell that may be, goodbye.